Ladies and gentlemen, Wuthering Waves 3.0 has arrived, and if you're not all aware, a new endgame mode has arrived with it as well. I know there's a lot of content to actually get through when it comes to this patch, but this has to be one of the most exciting new additions that I'm sure a lot of players are looking forward to. Because one thing that this endgame provides, ladies and gentlemen, is the ability for you to use every single unit on your roster, and that's pretty damn badass. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just start taking a look at some of the specifics behind this endgame mode, starting off with the rewards. So as you can see over here, there's not actually a massive number of rewards dedicated to this endgame mode, and there's a reason for that. You need to actually be relatively progressed in your account to even challenge this in the first place, because the requirements are you need to be able to complete 24 crests in a TOA phase, and after that, 3,500 points in at least one phase of infinite torrents in Wiwa. So you got to be able to have like a little bit of progression in both endgame modes to even challenge this in the first place. But don't worry, it doesn't require like a fully built account. That's actually pretty easy scores to get. If you want like a look at to some of the as to some of the scores that I ended up getting, you can see in Wiwa over here, everything's completely filled out and stuff like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead, let's get on into the actual new endgame and start taking a look at how it's broken down. So first, you're gonna have two stages. One of them is initially going to be locked. You need to get 10,000 points in the first stage to be able to unlock the second one, where you can go infinitely. And so this is how the teams are going to be designed. You'll first have two teams that you're going to be putting in for the first trial of this endgame. And you're going to see over here, these are the 4 enemies that you're going to be going up against. You have a time limit for each team that you take into this challenge. And once the time limit runs out for team 1, then team 2 is going to enter in with all of the HP values of the enemies at the same spot where team 1 left them. So the goal, as you can probably see over here, is to make sure that the team that you're using is able to deal with at least all 4 of these enemies. You can also strategically understand how long your teams are going to take to clear, because chances are team 1 is not going to be able to do more than 2 enemies. And by the time team 1 is done, team 2 is going to come in. So an idea that you could have is to play glacial characters on team 1, knowing there's no glacial resistance on these first 2 enemies. And then for team 2, bring in the anti-glacial, non-glacial, non-Carlotta team. So that's just a little bit of the strategic depth that you're going to be able to put into here. I'm going to kind of do the opposite for this demonstration. I'm going to start off with teams on side 1 that are going to be good for these enemies, and then for team 2, I'm going to choose fusion or arrow teams, just to kind of like show how you can strategically think about it that way. All right, so this is going to be the character selection menu, and what you're going to see over here is that every single member of your roster is available. My Lynae is actually under leveled, but one thing very, very cool that I'm going to be able to do is actually access demo resonators. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I will have demo resonators. So even the resonators that I have on my account that are like lower than 90, they'll all be raised up, and they'll also get equipment, and they'll also inherit the resonance chains of your existing characters. So that's something that's going to be built in as well. And you're not probably going to use your demo resonators in the standard version, which is what we're on right now with only 2 teams. But once we unlock the full version, which we'll be doing after an initial clear, then you'll be able to see it all in action. So with all of that out of the way, let's just get some traditional teams going over here. For the first side, I'm just going to run a team that's pretty comfortable and pretty strong. I'm going to be running Phrolova. And you can see over here, when it comes to selecting a team, I'll also be able to have a unique buff that I can allocate to them. And so because I'm using Phrolova, who focuses on echo skills, I'll choose the echo skill power-up. Makes sense, right? And as you can see over here, unfortunately, right, it doesn't look like I'm able to slot my 3rd team, or I'm not able to slot my 1st or my 2nd team yet. I'm pretty sure that once I, quote-unquote, fail a run, that's when the 2nd team is going to be able to be slotted. But we're just going to go ahead, we're going to use this team for a first try, and then see how it goes. And just keep in mind, there is going to be a vigor system as well, but we'll explain that a bit later on once we've actually completed a run. All right, but without further ado, let's get into it. Our first try, with all of our own characters in the new endgame. As you can see over here, it's pretty much identical to how the TOA functions, except the arena seems to be a good bit larger. So, yeah, if you're familiar with the TOA, I don't think this is really going to mess with anything when it comes to how you've been playing the game. So, yeah, just,
In the whispers of silence. Oh, this will be fun. Riptides playing.
And then we'll try out the new tomb break mechanic over here. Boom! Alright, that didn't do that much damage, unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? It didn't do that much damage when we were using Phrolova, but maybe that's because the rest of Phrolova's team is doing so much damage in the first place. So yeah, now we got Glizzy Rider over here. The bosses just spawn immediately, and one thing you'll notice, we can actually damage him on his entry animation. So that's very cool as well, right? One thing that people complained about was the fact that these guys had iframes when they were coming in, which was very annoying for timer-based modes. But you'll notice that the enemies that traditionally have iframes, they're damageable on their entry animations. So if anything, they're actually way weaker than they used to be in the TOA, just because of that.
Ensemble. Ictus, ready. Preparatory beats. Begin. Cadence. Hold.
And that's going to be Glizzy Rider eliminated. And so as you can see over here,
Songs of old.
the standard difficulty, these are all S0 units I'm using on my team right now. They do all have their signatures, but it is all S0R1. And you can see over here, it's not going to be enough juice, I think, to like fully clear it.
Take a breath.
We're only going to get to like the third boss, but do keep in mind, right? There's a reason why we have all these extra teams. There's a reason why you got all those extra teams.
By seas
You're not meant to full clear the entire thing with one team, and if you can, it probably means you have a lot of sequence stones.
Preparatory beats. Begin. Symphony of life.
Right? We'll probably get through 3 bosses. Probably blow them up here. Boom! And that's as far as we're probably going to be able to go, unfortunately. So, yeah, we tried our best. But even our Phrolova team, right? We're doing everything we can. Ending with the Chuyan Liberation. And then we'll just see where the rest of the challenge takes us after that. So you can see over here, challenge complete. We have the option to restart, and we've seen from like the tally menu how much damage we've actually done to all of the bosses. So there we go. It's we got 3 out of 4 of them, and the Lampy Lumen's got like 82% of his health left. Now let's move on to the next team. And as you see over here, you start unlocking more. So you complete the first challenge as far as you can go, and then boom, your second team unlocks, and then you got however much HP the Lampy Lumen has left. Naturally, right, you might be in a situation where only one of your teams, it only clears like 1 or 2 of these bosses. Then the next team only clears 1 or 2. That's why you got 3 teams for this one. That's why you got 3. And as you can see over here, even with S0R1 characters, if your stuff is well built, you'll probably not even need the third one. Frankly, I don't even need like half of the second team. I like how this is designed because obviously it tests your roster strength. You have the demo characters, so you don't even need to level them up. So you should be able to at least attempt or tackle this with the pre-built characters that you have. So I think a lot of people should be able to do it, especially with those demo units. And then from there, you also have the incredible benefit of those that actually S6 their characters. They feel like they're getting a better reward for whaling, right? Because now they can brag about how they cleared the entire thing in one go. Which, you know, for the individuals that do spend that much money on the game, I want to give them the opportunity to actually flex it. And this is, in my opinion, a good way to flex it without killing the fun for the rest of the player base. Because, again, I think that this is an endgame that's designed and fits well for so many different types of players. So yeah, that's just a little bit of the glazing that I'll do because I love how this is designed. Now let's just go ahead, let's finish this all up and play the second team that we're going to be using over here. So obviously, we just can't use anything that's glacial resistant. We're going to use our Trial Lynae, and then we're also going to use a Zhang Liao. And this will let me actually demonstrate to you what some of the buffs look like for these characters. So Zhang Liao is a character who's getting buffed in this endgame mode. It's the highest difficulty one, and unfortunately, what it looks like is that Kuro Games hasn't been as creative as we thought they were going to be when it comes to buffing their kit. I thought that this meant that their ability was going to be adjusted because it showed up on an individual ability, but no, it's just all their damage is increased by 25%. There are some characters that have more interesting buffs, like Yinlin, where she buffs Resonance Liberation damage additionally while also doing 20% more damage. These seem a little bit more interesting, but for the DPS units that you're seeing over here, like the Zhang Liaos, the Jinxis, the Chang Lis, and the stuff like that, right? It's in the Gions, it's a little bit more boring. Jeja and Yinlin, they kind of got some more interesting ones because they buff a type of damage. But for this, not as creative. I don't really think that this is what I was expecting when it was going to be in the game, but it is what it is. So because we have Lynae on the team, she's going to buff liberation damage and attack by a lot, and she's also going to be a tune character. So I'm going to specialize her by using the Tune Break enhancement. Another thing to note, that vigor system that I talked about, right? Most characters only have one energy, and so you'll only be able to use them, right, on one team, even in the endless mode. However, support characters, some of them that aren't treated as second-class citizens like Chisa, support characters are going to have 2 vigor. Chisa, for some reason, only gets 1, even though she is the negative status support. I don't know why. I think Kuro just fucking despises this unit. I don't know what else to say. I think they hate her. But yeah, supports are going to get 2. Every other support in the game has 2, unless they're like a hybrid character, like a Cantarella Brant, or I guess Chisa. But yeah, whatever. Anyways, that's how Vigor is going to work. And so as you can see, supports you can use 2 times across 2 teams. Everybody else, only 1. So let's just see how Zhang Liao does. And remember, this is going to be the demo Lynae, because I haven't built her yet. So this is what Kuro Games gave us. It's going to be my Shorekeeper, though, and my Zhang Li. My Zhang Li is S0R1. And you can see over here, the Lamby Lumen still has his super diseased freeze. So don't worry. Even if Kuro has removed some of the annoying mechanics, a lot of them are still there.
Over here.
And now we got our Lynae rotation done. And let's reconfigure this guy. That was kind of badass.
Reconfiguration. Exploit.
Oath from the heart. Worry not.
So as you can see over here, yeah, we're kind of cooking this guy. We are kind of cooking this guy. Lynae is also a very strong character, and the trial version they gave us does everything you want her to. Probably one of the best trial characters they've ever given in the game before, if I'm frankly being honest. That's also telling you that they're not, like, building these old units like shit, or they're not building the trial units like garbage. And then we can get the nice little Tune Break hit in there, too. And you can see Lynae just came in with a 300k nuke from off-field. Yeah, that was a 300k nuke from off-field after we Tune Breaked it. So, yeah, that's part of her sub DPS potential as well. Having those nukes. Oh!
Veil here.
And we'll finish it off with the Hypercube over here.
Pierce through the stars.
And that'll fill out the challenge for us. We're done. We got all the points that we needed. About 11,000 total, if we're going to be honest. And now that's going to unlock Singularity Expansion. But first, we want to take a look at the rewards that we actually got over here. So we completed all of Stability Accords. Getting a full clear basically gives you the 10k points that you need, and you're going to be done. You can see that that didn't take a large amount of time. However, this is where the true time sink actually is. And you're going to start seeing this now. So, when it comes to Singularity Expansion, enemies will respawn in the list's order after being defeated. In Singularity Expansion, enemy HP increases by each round, and stronger enemy effects will be unlocked as the rounds progress. It's endless. This is officially the first endless endgame mode we've gotten, because the goal is you'll get a certain amount of time with each team. The goal is to clear as many of these floors as possible, and the enemies respawn and get stronger each time they die. You've also got the elemental restrictions to think about as well. So, this is the strategy that we're actually going to be taking. I actually do have some sequence nodes on my account. They're only on, like, one character, though. So, I mean, if the goal is to maximize the value on my account, that would actually involve me using this character that I've been putting on the bench because I've kind of been refusing to actually play her. Because I think she's too easy to play. However, Kuro is asking me to go as far as I possibly can. And so, this might mean, ladies and gentlemen,
I've got time.
I alone will decide.
this might be the first time you see her in a video in a while. Yo, this might be the first time you see this Carlotta in a video in a while, ladies and gentlemen. She is here to cook. She is here to cook, brother. She's ready. So let's fucking do this. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'll put her in. I'll see how far we can take her. Because she will have glacier resistance to work against. I might be just fucking myself. But yeah, we'll do that. So the first team that we're going to be putting up front, and we'll see how long we actually stay in this endless mode. Oh, no. Okay, this is going to be my take. Kuro Games, you need to add an option to switch your character's gear in this menu. The fact that there's no way to change your character's gear without, like, exiting out, I'm gonna be real, it's a bit of a travesty. So let's just get that bit of feedback out of the way right now. You need a way to change your character's gear inside that menu because I already knew my Jeja didn't fucking have anything on her. All right, so let's do our first run over here. We got our Carlotta Jeja Shorekeeper team. Let's see how far we go. We're just going to use the general enhancement. And unfortunately, it looks like there might be a little bit of kinks to iron out when it comes to the equipment and stuff like that. However, do keep in mind, guys, the trial characters are well built. So, if you are out of equipment, just use a trial character. Especially for, like, the sub DPS units. Like, guys, I don't think it matters if your Jeja doesn't have her... I don't think it matters if your Jeja doesn't have, like, her crazy build, bro. I thought I had Hikate's Echo skill. Sorry. That one parries. I thought I had Hikate's Echo skill, so I was gonna parry it, but I realized I was on Moonlit, and then I got grabbed. So, guys, that's actually the right way to play... You guys already know. Okay, what am I doing here? I did not need to be on Jeja.
In war with time.
Here we go.
Artem Veiled.
My compliment.
I will say, though, this is an S3 Carlotta. Naturally, though, we won't really see the damage until we liberate. But damn. Ew, yo, this guy's kind of tanky.
A new era awaits.
Shit, I thought that was going to do more.
Found your weak spot. Still. Oh.
So, yeah.
From the heart.
Low key. This was the right character to use here.
Modulation.
This was the right character to use here, bro. Like, I'm going to be honest. This is kind of... We haven't even gotten our round 2 yet. So, let's see how many teams you, like, reasonably even, like, need to, like, get the rewards. Because I'm kind of, like, curious now.
Brilliance lights the way. Glory demands more.
Flicky! Alright.
Masterpiece complete. Improvise. Still. Ordained. Recognize me. I engraft you new.
You need 4 teams with 5k points for all of the Astrite. Alright, so we'll just see how long it takes to get that Astrite, brother.
My compliment.
Alright, well, Glizzy Rider is for sure just getting blown up.
Favors me. In the name of the Montellis.
Ah! I'm not gonna lie, that shit does no damage.
Oh, from the heart.
Like, Carlotta's individual bullets are doing more than that. Alright, so basically, I think we all know how this one's gonna go. It's glacial resistant, but I only had 20 seconds left in the run. So low-key, using this S4 Carlotta was a great idea.
Witness
Because it doesn't really matter, right? I only got 20 seconds left. I'm in like the setup phase for like this team right here. I wasn't expecting this to do that great anyways. Wait, the low key.
The stage is set.
Low key?
Glory
That's not
demands
bad.
more.
I'm happy with that. Come on, get the final shot off. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get her final shot off. I probably could have played better if I wanted to. I could restart, be a little bit sweaty, right? Dodge a little bit more to get that final shot off. I don't care. Anyways, so that's going to be our first pass. And as you can see, this is the hardest endgame we've ever gotten. These are the tankiest enemies we've ever had in the history of the game. But as you can see over here, with just using that one team, I've got an 89-68 points, right? If we took a look at the rewards, right? You're seeing over here, to get the full rewards for Singularity Expansion, you've got to get to 5,000 points with 3 teams. On top of 21,000 points total. So it's honestly closer to having like 4 or 5 teams, something like that, and getting like 5,600 with that. You can also get even more rewards the further you go. And like when we get to like 58,000 points, I think that's where shit gets into like the potentially Giga Whale territory, because I'm not sure how you can get that many. But yeah, you can see that the Astrite rewards start falling off pretty early. And then everything after that is nice to have, but it's not like, yeah, this ain't gonna get you more characters, which I think is a good balance. So it seems like there are rewards actually for whaling, but none of it is assigned to gearing characters. The only rewards you get just seem to be building characters faster, but like not even that much faster, because you wanna know how much this is? This is half a daily Tacit Field. Yeah, this is like doing a Tacit Field 2 times. So like 120 wayplates worth of Tacit Field mats, and you don't even get the echoes. So yeah, that's not really stuff that I think is like worth breaking your back over. Let's just go ahead and see now how we want to take the rest of this endgame. So right now, I'm up against 2 Glacio enemies. Why don't we dust off that Phrolova team and see where it can take us? And remember, this is going to be that S0R1 Phrolova team that we've been using a lot of. So actually, let's play a different team for this one. That's going to get too boring real fast. Let's try out Galbrena. Let's see how Penis Head does with that Echo skill enhancement. One thing is clear, right? Some of those upgrades and enhancements are a lot stronger than others. And I think this Echo skill one is one of the strongest ones.
Stay calm.
Oh, not this guy.
Diminish.
Oh, never mind. No, let's get this guy. Should I close my eyes during this?
One strike to settle it all.
You can't
My move
escape
is
me.
the blade.
Timing's everything. Behave now.
Yo, can I get my
By
goddamn...
my trigger. Enter Hell's Gate.
Scorched to
Oh my god, she is devouring them all. Oh, okay, well, yeah, that Echo skill power-up seems to be incredibly broken. Might even potentially be to the point where it, like, feels stronger. Oh my god! It, like, feels stronger than using, like, an S3 unit. Which... Oh, no, I didn't max out my shit because Chu Yan got canceled like 40 times. Ah, whatever. Bro, they saved the 2 most annoying bosses for last. Like, both these guys freeze you. Get in the Stellar Realm. My Shorekeeper's S1, so I don't need to. Yeah.
What sleeps within bamboo.
Yeah, so I don't need to. I'm good, bro. How did he not hit that? How did he not hit that parry?
Settle it all.
Speak of the devil. Behave now. Bathing for the hunt. Ends
All right, well, we should absolutely take this guy to hell after this one. But I will say, once again, right? Okay, so they added abilities that cannot be interrupted by Tomb Break. This is an example of one of them. You see how his bar is, like, locked? His bar was, like, locked from that. I, like, fucked up the rotation because I just wanted to, like, see how that mechanic was working. Yeah, there are certain attacks that just can't be tomb broken, apparently. So, that's what we're looking like over there.
Your life is mine.
The sword one looks cool, though.
Gotcha. By my trigger.
The sword one does look cool. Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't enough to kill the Lampy Lumen over here because I did grief the fuck out of that rotation. So, I guess we'll just move on to our next team now. What we do gotta factor in for this next run, and this is where the strategy is going to be, and this is where almost like it's like a roguelike element. So for this next run, I'm gonna have to factor in that I need to defeat a glacial enemy and then follow up with an arrow resistant enemy. So obviously, maybe I wanted to use like a Iuno team or something like that. I just shouldn't. Right? I just should not. Otherwise, I'm pretty much going to completely screw myself. I also shouldn't use a Cartithia team, right? That's going to be a bit of a mistake. However, now, I've already used my Chu Yan. Now's an opportunity to actually use a Rosia. And why don't I just use the demo one for now? Because I don't know if she has the right pieces equipped. I'll just use the demo Rosia. Go with that. And so, I've already used my Chu Yan, right? And so, effectively, I have now found a use case for one of the worst units in the game. Because I use my Chu Yan for Galbrena. Well, I guess now I can use Rosia for my fucking Phrolova. And we'll just go about it that way. There you go. It is what it is. I gotta do what I gotta do. So, hey. Again, right? Even past expenditures that you thought were gonna be useless. Well, they now have a use case. Okay, why is this guy like so toxic in like the first minute of the fight? Just die. Just blow up. He's so tanky. Oh, come on. Come on, just get bounced on. Just die. Just die, bro. Please. All right, and this is going to be the first official respawn, boys. The first official respawn.
By seas venom. Riptides flip.
Annihilation. Symphony of life. Witness. Blossoms.
You should have read the boss passives. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have read the boss passives.
I'll keep you company. Sink.
Gotcha players are reading, guys.
Endless deep.
Come on, get off my back. Why are we out here pretending that you guys are like reading too?
Symphony of life.
I will say though, this guy is a bit of a fucking menace right now. He is a bit of a menace.
The soul, never entombed. Arrow scout. Mamma mia, avanti.
Why is this guy just like slowly walking away?
I'll warm up the crowd.
Hold from the depths. Oh, this will be fun. Engulfed by sea's venom.
Oblivion. Cadence. Halt. Preparatory beat. Begin. Heed the echoes.
Oh, did she hit him? Yes, she hit him with Scarlet Coda. Thank God.
Aerial scout. Princess show. Mamma mia. Avanti. Improv. Performance. I'll warm up.
Take a breath. Right here. Surge.
Hey, well, that's how far our Phrolova team went. So, as you can see, I've only used 3 teams. Wait, has it been 3? No, yeah, I've only used 3 teams, right? And I am officially at the score now where I can claim a majority of the rewards, right? The only ones I don't have left are essentially reach 5,000 points with 4 teams, reach 5,000 points with 6 teams, so on and so forth. This is what I find to be a bit of like the struggle potentially in this endgame mode. I don't know how easy it is to get 5,000 points when you're on your 6th team. Because the enemies will, by the time you get to your 6th team, I don't know how much stronger they're supposed to be. And so I don't know if the points scale with how much damage you do, and so it doesn't matter how many respawns you get through. I do think the points seem to scale with damage, because my first run, right, I got 6,800. But then on my 3rd run, I had 22,000. So clearly, I didn't get an average of 6,800 points on each run. So the number of points clearly went up on my later clears. So I'm not exactly sure how you get the points. I think it's based off damage done, because I'm definitely killing less bosses and I'm getting more points. So that's what I think is going on. It seems to be designed in a similar way to Deadly Assault from ZZZ, where it doesn't matter if you kill them. Killing them is just something that happens. It matters more so the damage that you're dealing. However, considering that you rotate through the teams, and the resistance of the enemy shifts as you rotate through the teams, I feel like that's where a heavy, like, strategic element comes into it. Because you got to be thinking, am I going to kill the boss with this team? If I do, then it matters the attribute of the team that I'm using, because I got to make sure it matches up with the next one that's going to spawn in. But if you know you're on, like, this is the guy's, like, 4th or 5th life, and you know he's not going to die, then it doesn't matter what's going on with the second team, or, like, it doesn't matter what the attribute of the second enemy you're facing is, because you're not going to be able to face them. So that's just some of, like, the thought that I have, like, the thought process going into this. Hopefully it makes sense to you, and you can see why there's, like, a strategic element to this. So in line with that strategic element, now I'm going to use a team that, well, let's just be honest here, I don't have a lot of Shorekeeper juice left. I probably should have saved a copy of Shorekeeper. Instead, I'm just going to be using Verena. It is what it is. And then I'm going to make sure to also use my demo, Lynae, and, oh, wait, sorry, I don't even need to do any of this shit. Fuck it. We're going to use our Chacona. We're going to use Chacona, Lynae, and Iuno. And the bonus we're going to be using is, fuck it. We'll use the negative status one. We'll use the negative status one. Now, let me just make sure that I'm actually using my Iuno. So this is the Iuno that we're going to be using. And as you can tell, this is probably the most unethical build you've ever seen on the character. This is S0R1. So yeah, we're going to be using this on her, and she should just fuck everything in the game. Yeah, okay. Now, let's go back into this. Let's go. Let's equip that same team, just because I think we know everybody and what they have. But do remember, guys, the trial resonators are here, and they'll have good equipment on them. Do remember that, guys. The trial resonators are here, and they have good equipment on them. That Lynae nuked for 300k with her Toon Rupture. Her build isn't dog shit if she's nuking for 300k. You can use the trial characters. You will be fine. That's why they're there. You don't need everybody fully built.
Perfect wrap-up. Let the show begin.
That's why I've been making sure to use trial characters, right? Whenever I can.
Tie a bow and call that my signature.
I hate that.
Mark, one more.
Now watch closely. On you go. Face me. Fate. Taste my
Here we go. That's a lot of damage.
Fate.
Thanks for watching.
Revealed.
Bomb note.
Listen, the trio of
I missed the
destiny.
Chacona heavy attack, but it's whatever. It's whatever.
And call that my signature. That's all you got. Hey, where's the
With style and grace.
I will say, though, this guy is fucking tanky as hell, man.
Fate in my
Holy
Taste my
moly.
resolve. Foe, be my prey.
View, thanks for watching.
You shape.
Faster. Better get serious. Now presenting a poem of
I think the
Lynae.
bosses are weak to something specific for real. That might be it. But all I'm gonna say is,
Check this.
if that's the case, then goddamn,
One more.
we gotta do some additional research then.
On you go. Entertain me.
The moon is full.
Thanks for watching.
Always a pleasure.
A perfect listen. The trio of destiny.
And I guess the thing is that this is one of the highest damaging teams in the game in single target.
That's all you got. Marked. Need a ride?
Now watch closely.
On you go.
Bro, I am tickling this guy.
World at my string. Answer my call.
I am tickling this guy. Holy moly.
Alice, thanks for watching.
So yeah, you can see over here, that team got us a nice 7.7k points. 7.7k points. And now I'm at a 30.1k total. It probably would now make sense for me to actually look at the distinctions of the bosses. So maybe we should actually take a look at those so we can plan out the teams even more. So when it comes to the Sentry Construct, who we have right up next, when Sentry Construct is in midair, it deals 30% more damage. If it's affected by negative statuses or tunability shifting, their vibration strength reduction rate is increased by 50%. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, that's not that helpful. There doesn't really seem to be a damage increase built into here at all. This is just vibration strength. If anything, it just deals more damage. But hey, just dodge. Lampy Lumen. I guess the main thing is, for 15 seconds after defeating any boss, everybody is immune to damage. When the Lampy Lumen Myriad's attack hits, the target takes 5% more. Okay. When it inflicts Glacial Chafe, and guys, these are just buffs for the enemies. These are just buffs to the enemies. It's not like there's anything in your team strategy that makes them take more damage. Okay. Except for the Baringle, where when it's hit by Tomb Break, it receives more damage until the end of the battle. But everybody can Tomb Break, so this doesn't really matter. Just Tomb Break it whenever you can. So that's not... We don't even have the Tomb Break off-rate build-up booster. So there's no character that even makes this happen faster. And for Inferno Rider, it inflicts a burn when it hits you. And it just deals more damage. So yeah, the only enemy that gets more damage taken by it is the Baringle. And that's from triggering Tomb Break, which you just do by pressing F whenever the bar is filled. But that's it. Yep, that's basically it. And as you can see, I'm clearly already at the S. It's not going to be hard at me. It's not going to be hard for me at all to get the rest of the rewards. But I can clearly see a universe where it could be really difficult for some players. So, why don't I go ahead and, now that I'm on this reset, do one of the final tests that I possibly can for a game mode like this. What if I just use a full team of trial units, ladies and gentlemen? And what better team to use for a full trial than the Mono Fusion team? And then we just go ahead and see how actually good are these things, right? Is this going to, if every single character is a trial character, what do the results end up being? Let's see it. Because if you're able to get 5k with this far into the run, there's no issue at all. You can literally just play with the trial characters until you get it. So let's just see. So yeah, this is a trial Mono Fusion team. I've got very low hopes for it. I actually think it's going to be really bad. Because Mono Fusion has some of the most, difficult builds in the game to use. Or the most, difficult to build characters in the game. So let's see what Kuro Games has prepared for us with this one.
Ow, careful.
Okay, if that happens, the run is cooked. If my anchor gets auto-dodged by Lupa's Pack Hunt, we gotta reset. That's the highest damaging move in this team. I can't have it not hit. It's not gonna be playable. Yo, Cap, appreciate the raid. We're just doing an Endgame video right now. Just taking a look and seeing how strong the trial characters are. Hope your stream went well for 3.0. Boom! Okay, that only did 100k. So, this is going to be my take. If your character is a support or sub DPS, go for it. However, as you're seeing over here, that Chang Li is on an EOG. And while that's okay, certain units like Brand, if they're on like EOG, they're going to suck dick. And so I guess some of the more difficult characters to build, like a Brand, you probably don't want to deal with it, right? However, we will see, just for shits and giggles, guys, right? We will see, just for shits and giggles.
Together we vanish.
I've never seen that before.
In flames. Feathers incinerate.
I've never seen that
Beckon
before.
the divine.
Yeah, you haven't done any damage, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. It doesn't look like I've done any. Hey, hey, Tomb break his ass. Hey, come on. Yeah, get down, asshole. That didn't do anything to him. Wait, that didn't. I thought that was good. I thought that was gonna do something to him.
Epic shot. Let the flames rise.
Yeah, this team appears to have giga homeless damage.
No worries. Perfect finale.
And I assume that's gonna occur when you're trying to,
Together
once again,
we
right?
vanish. Who's
Run
the
it
caged
with
bird
characters
now?
that do have some pretty specific build requirements. I don't even know if this brand's at 280 ER, or even like close to it. I don't even know if this brand is even close to 280 ER. Because that anchor only hitting 100k leads me to believe the Brant build in particular is actually completely fucking fucked. Yeah, if a Brant anchor is doing 100k, guys, with your Liberations buff, that's not a great build. But the thing is, even with this dog shit build, right, I got 3k points. So what if I go restart, right? And then I just exit out, and then I actually use my real built monofusion team, right? We can use my actual built monofusion team, and then we can see the difference, right? And I guess you can replay it. Wait. Oh, that's crazy. It saves all your runs, so you can see how much progress you made. And if you're like, yeah, this one was some dog shit, fuck it. Yeah, I don't care. You're just like, oh, that was terrible. Let me use my real characters now. And I guess you can just do that as well. So at any point, you can like reset even all the way back to the first one if you massively fucked up with your team comps. But that might mean you got to restart everything. So let's just see over here, right? What does it look like when I use my actual monofusion team, right?
Climax of the show.
Nice teamwork.
Hey, Mac.
Together we vanish.
So we did about 230,000 more damage with...
Sever.
We did about 32,000 or a lot more damage. A lot more damage, basically. Yeah, a lot more.
Burn to dust with me.
Like, a fuck ton more.
Together we howl.
At the helm. Let the flames rise.
And you can see from the points that are showing up on the side, right?
Perfect finale.
Together we vanish. Mine eye.
Bro, can Chang Li fucking land a true side attack, please?
Beckon the divine flame.
Burn to dust! The fight is on!
What was that? I was like over there using it for like 30 seconds. I'm surprised I even got Lupa's enhanced intro with that shit.
Climax of the show!
I don't even know how I got Lupa's enhanced intro off of that.
Together we vanquish.
Oh my god.
My blade burns. Who's the caged bird now?
Bro, putting this guy in for like a 30-second fight is a decision. Not even 30 seconds. Putting this guy in for a 2-minute fight is a decision for sure. Oh my gosh. He's just doing every move in his kit. He brought out the fucking flying minigun. Bro, just stop it, man, please. So as you can see, that guy turns into the biggest fucking menace I've ever seen on the higher difficulties because bro just doesn't get down. Bro just doesn't get down. And even with us completely not even breaking his ass a single time, we still got 6.2k. So I think the main viewpoint that I have about this is that, yes, your points are entirely driven by the amount of damage that you deal to a boss. So there's a lot of different strategic levers you can use to actually get those points. I would say, if you possibly can, try to save your stronger characters, right? Try to save your stronger characters for the later runs and maybe try to use more of those trial units. Maybe I don't use my Chuyan. Maybe I don't use my S4 Carlotta here. Maybe I don't use my Phrolova here. Maybe I save them for later runs because they're stronger teams that I have better built. You know best based off of the strength of your characters, the strength of your teammates, and how well you built your teams, right? You know best who's going to get the best scores, who's going to deal the most damage. Play your Encore and shit here. Play your underbuilt Zhang Liao and shit here. Play your Jinxie and shit here, right? Save the Phrolovas and stuff, right? The Galbrenas, your full Chisa, Chakota, Cartithia team, right? The best one that you have, the highest damage ones, for a bit later, when you might have to go against this guy for the whole 2-minute run. Because guess what, guys? I wish I saved one of my quote-unquote stronger teams, right? I wish I saved one of my stronger teams for this stage in particular. Because holy fuck, this guy is a goddamn menace. And I wish I was using, I'm just gonna be honest here, right? A character like Cartithia can just hit this guy all the time. I kind of wish I had my Cartithia team for this one. Because she kind of trivializes this bastard sentry construct. So that's just something to keep in mind, right? You really want to experiment to get the highest rewards over here. This is a very difficult endgame mode. It's the hardest one that we've ever had in the history of the game, but you have a lot of tools at your disposal, specifically the trial characters, right? To like cut out a way, especially in the early difficulties, to actually get, you know, those 5,000 points across 6 teams, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Because you want to know what I'm doing when I do this? When I put in my Carlotta team and I bust out a 9k, right? On the easiest one possible. What do you think those 4,600 extra points are doing, right? I only needed to get 5,000 with this team, and I need 6 teams that get 5,000. It would literally be easier, right, to actually deal less damage with this team and then use weaker teams, right, against these bosses in this situation. So that's just something to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm gonna say, for my first pass, my first experience in Double Pawns Matrix Pilot, other than the buffs to the 1.0 units looking really depressing in relationship to what I think a lot of people expected, I think the rest of the game mode is looking pretty good, is looking pretty well designed, and I do think it is going to present a challenge to players, but I don't think it's some sort of challenge that seems really incredibly, absurdly insurmountable, especially if your goal is to get the Astrite. Because shit like this, getting 5,800 points, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't think even I can do that. I don't think I can do this. And frankly, I'm not sure if I can do this one. We'll see. We'll probably have a stream where we try to get all 5,800 points, but we'll go from there. And as you can see, I'm already done with all the Astrite rewards, ladies and gentlemen. I'm done with them. They're done. And in fact, I would have been done with them before even the 29,000 point mark. I hope y'all realize that. The Astrite rewards stop at 2,100 and 4 teams that get 5k each. And then everything after that is bragging rights. I think the only thing that's missing over here is a title for getting a certain amount of points in the endgame mode. That's the only thing that's missing. They should have a title in here for those whales. Because, again, it's like fucking cosmetic, bro. I don't give a fuck. Give them whatever they want if it's cosmetic. They fucking spent tens of thousands of dollars on the game. Yeah, I don't care if they get a name card. I'm not that much of a fucking pussy. Like, it's really just that simple. So, yeah. Overall, I'd say great job with this first pass at the new endgame. I think that it's going to be a fun experience for a lot of players. And hopefully, the walkthrough that we did of it today has highlighted for you where the potential actually is. So let me know what you all thought. Peace out.